Chuckload of Comics is brought to you by Cold War Games, creators of Squarriors, Fight Your Friends, and Lady Death Last Stand. For more information, visit coldwar.us.
So guys, sticking with Star Wars news, this week was a massive week. There hasn't been a lot of Star Wars Episode 9 news lately. But apparently San Diego Comic-Con is next weekend.
Yes!
In San Diego. How ironic is that? Disney and the good people over at Lucasfilms gave us our first look at the newest character in the Star Wars saga, the Sith Trooper.
Nice.
In their awesome blood red armor. Looking really, really cool. Disney's apparently is going to have a really big footprint on the show floor at San Diego Comic-Con. They're bringing all these trooper costumes out, all these trooper toys that we're going to break down in just a second. But the one that stole the show is the new Sith Trooper.
So cool.
Sith Trooper.
Kind of looking like an Imperial Guard.
Let's analyze it. Okay, yeah. It's got images. It's got a lot of aesthetic pieces that are reminiscent of other stormtroopers. Obviously, it looks like a stormtrooper with the armor and stuff. Of course, it's blood red, which reminds you of the Praetorian Guard and, of course, the Imperial Guard from Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
They got those little ridges in the helmet, just like the Praetorian Guard has. But what I thought was really interesting is if you look at the helmet, it's very reminiscent of the clone troopers. How it's kind of split down the middle. It looks very clone troopery. What does that mean? Now, let's analyze this for just a second. I don't want to go off on too much of a rant, but, okay, the movie's called Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
And I think it's pretty obvious to me that this is not going to be one of Kylo Ren's troopers. Because Kylo Ren said in The Last Jedi that he is not into the Sith.
Right.
He's not into the Jedi. It's time to move on. There's no reason why Kylo Ren would call something a Sith trooper. He's kind of anti-Sith.
Right.
So it stands to reason that this is perhaps Emperor Palpatine's private secret army.
Very
I don't think.
So.
Okay, so let's talk about the clone thing. The movie's called Rise of Skywalker, right?
Right.
If this is a clone trooper, and it's a Sith trooper,
your mind's gonna be blown, people.
Who would Palpatine clone if he was making clone troopers? What Sith would he clone? Anakin Skywalker. Come on. Palpatine is probably, this is my own little fan theory, Palpatine cloned Anakin to make his own secret Sith clone army of a ton of Vaders walking around. It's probably not the case. That's a deep cut for casual moviegoers. But
how did Palpatine get his DNA?
There's maybe he could have plucked some hair when he was.
Excuse me, some hair from Darth Vader's head.
From his body. Maybe some ash from when he was burning on Mustafar. He had plenty of time to get.
He could have taken it when he was rebuilding him.
He took him to the hospital and rebuilt him. There's probably pieces of Anakin all over the freaking hospital bed. Just pick one up off the floor.
Right.
So here's my theory. I don't think Palpatine ever died. I don't think he's coming back from the dead. I think he's just always been existing in the shadows.
Building his army.
Slowly building his army.
I like this theory,
of Sith. He's bringing back the Sith. He's getting rid of the rule of two, because obviously that didn't work out too well for him. So instead of the rule of two, there's always a master, there's always an apprentice. I think he's starting a whole new Sith empire.
I love
of
this
Sith
theory.
clones.
I think this theory holds a lot of water.
Why would they make the helmet look like a clone trooper helmet?
Right.
If they weren't clones?
Ralph?
Good question.
Good. Thanks for the input, Ralph. Always, it's broadcast gold.
Ooh, yeah. Interesting. Tell me more.
So getting back on some of the toys that are dropping at San Diego Comic-Con. If you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, you can pick up the 6-inch Black Series Sith Trooper figure. They got a Lego kit where you can build your own Sith Trooper.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool. They got this cool backpack that looks like a Sith Trooper. The Funko Pop, obviously, is going to be a thing. They got this kid's costume, like Halloween costume, dressed like a Sith Trooper. And lots and lots more. They got tiki cups, all kinds of cool stuff.
Maybe they just made him for the merch.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
He's not any special trooper.
Just like Captain Phasma.
Just like Captain Phasma.
Exactly. Oh, God. If this winds up being a Captain Phasma situation where it's like everybody's excited about the Sith Trooper and then it winds up just being this throwaway character, a lot of people are going to be pissed.
What a waste.
Because they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Star Wars Episode 9 hits theaters December 20th. Get your tickets as soon as they go on sale.
Oh my gosh.
I think we might see another trailer at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, I think so for sure.
I think next week it's highly likely we're going to see a new trailer for Star Wars Episode 9. They're not doing a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, but they are having a booth presence, so it'll probably just drop online.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not? If you're going to roll out this character, it makes perfect sense that we get a trailer coming out next weekend.
It's been 4 months since we saw
Yeah,
the first
it's been a while.
teaser trailer, and it's, we need a real trailer.
Okay. Well, on to other things, guys. Speaking of movies, The Lion King comes out next week.
Oh, yeah.
This week, actually, I guess, when you're watching it. Critics' reviews are in. I think it's currently sitting at a Rotten Tomatoes score of about 59.
Which is technically rotten.
Not
bad.
good. Not good at all. Critics don't seem to be liking it. I've talked to people who actually have seen it, and they loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely adored it.
What'd the critics say? This is a musical.